Hey, what's up guys, Robbie86 here. Today it's going to be episode number 5 or 6, depends when I chuck this one in and finally get it all done. I'm recording the post this bit first, sort of thing. Anyway, without further ado, we're going into we've got the France squad today, as you can see on your screen. Pretty nice looking team. I've chucked a couple of players that are in my first team in, like Laurent Blanc. What was the point in having a French guy in my team and not putting him in this? Why not? So, but you can take him out and you can just put a Blazeman Tweedy in there, much cheaper, and would fit in beautifully, and would do almost as good of a job. Almost, not quite as good, but if you put Tweedy in there, you're getting probably, I'd say, 95% as good as Blanc is. There's really not a huge difference. Anyway, starting off in goal, we've got Lafont in goal. He was a sort of cheap goalkeeper that you don't see often used. He's solid. He was sort of like, he's that sort of gap between your Mandanda and sort of like your next Hugo Lloris's and your Inform Mandanda, so on and so forth. He's that sort of semi-cheap gap in between those sort of guys. See how he does. 6'4". 3-star weak foot, 6'4", good height for a goalkeeper, so he should do the job. Right back and left back's where it's going to be quite interesting in this team. I've gone for something completely different that you never see in FIFA, and there's a reason you don't see it, because it probably isn't that effective. I've gone with the sort of he's quite a well-rounded card, Matthias Debuchy, former Newcastle and Arsenal player. He's now residing in the League 1 with ASE, what's it called? Saint Etienne, is it? Saint Etienne. I think I'm going to go with Saint Etienne. I think that is. But he's sort of a slow, well-rounded-ish right back with 73 pace, so it could be quite interesting. It'd be interesting to see how big of an impact that has on my playstyle, having that not sort of like 90 plus pace, 85 plus pace, bombing down that side. And the same story with Patrice Evra. One of my most favourite players growing up. Loved watching him. He's, for me, best left back I have seen. Yeah, he's in the top 2 left backs next to Roberto Carlos, mate. He is such a good player and underrated. Shame to see what he did in Marseille, but he's back. He's with West Ham now since, but he is he's definitely a character, and he's not quick anymore, but he's certainly well rounded, so we'll see how he does. Medium high work rates on him, super good for him. Next we got Titi, really good player, loved him on every FIFA, always. It's a shame he's in the Liga Santander, otherwise I'd use him so much more. And then we've got a guy, I had him a club, one of the untradeable team of the weeks I got, what's his name, Basie, or whatever his name is. Call him Paul. Hi, Paul. 69 pace, decent on a centre back, good passing, great dribbling. So good defending, good physical. He shouldn't cause us too problems. 6'1", so he's a solid, cheap inform. Now we've got Fekir. I had his team of the week card for long periods. I did. Right near the start of FIFA, and for me he is an absolute brilliant little player, but especially now this 84 should be brilliant. I had his 82 and I thought he was brilliant, so this is super well rounded as a cheap cam. If you're looking for a cheap cam, this guy is good. This guy should be good. Medium low work rates, 5'8", could be a slight issue. His height wise he's not the strongest, but everything else he makes up for. As you see here, he's got 81 pace. He's not slow. That's just the right amount of pace you're looking for a cam. 89 dribbling, fantastic shooting, brilliant passing. For a base goal card for 9k, he's as good as it gets for a cheap cam. A player last year I used on FIFA 17 when he got a team of the season card. I absolutely loved his team of the season card. I think he got it from a you got it from a daily knockout tournament for winning that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure you did. I'm going to go with that anyway. He's really well-rounded. No standout stats, but he's so well-rounded. Got the 4-star weak foot. He's tall. He's pretty tall, and he should provide a good balance in there. Anthony Martial, no one needs to say how good he is. He's an absolute god on this game as far as cheap OP players go. But then down the centre, I did a vote on Facebook, and it was close between Gamay and Moussa Dembele. Moussa Dembele won it by 2 votes. It was so close. So I went with Moussa Dembele as my striker. A player I did use a while back. I think I picked him up for ages ago, about 18k. So he's dropped the bottom's dropped out of him a crap ton in value. So he's dirt cheap. He managed to pick this one up with a Hunter chem style on him. So I'm expected to make a few K on him. Bonus, that'll do. But He's 6 foot, medium low work rate, so it's good work rate. Shame at the 3-star weight, which has got 4-star skills. Not much of a difference for me, I don't skill much. Good solid pace with that Hunter Chem style on it, boosting him up to 95 pace and 95 pace and 92 shooting. So hopefully he should be super clinical for me and do the job. Long shots a bit weak, but you're not looking to take long shots with this guy. Agility pretty good, balance pretty low. See how that sort of plays out. Stamina could be an issue, but 73 stamina is not terrible for a striker who is not going to be doing any tracking back. Acceleration. Now, the way Chem Styles work on Hunters, it boosts acceleration by 15 and then boosts sprint speed by 10. So that's going to take his top speed now to 97 and his acceleration to 96. So this guy is going to be absolutely rapid, if you believe Chem Styles works. Good composure, so should be pretty good. Alessandrini next. We don't really need to go into him. Everyone knows how good he is. I know how good he is. Look at that record. I'd say 300 of those games are as a sub. A player I'm never going to get rid of. Look at how much I bought him for. I bought him right on just as soon as he went out of Team of the Week. That was his lowest point he has ever been. I've heard so many times when he was up around 80k, could have sold him, didn't. I never intend to sell him. I put 19k into this card. I never intend to sell him, even if I could make profit. He is that good. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the gameplay.
Hey guys, and we are back. The first game we come up against, first team we come up against with this team is playing a 3-5-2 with I think it was Jesus, Stones, a pretty solid team, but on a similar sort of level to this one. And as soon as I saw this team, I thought 3 at the back. Yeah, I'm gonna have some fun. Love playing against 3 at the back sides. Always find loads of chances. Go 1-0 down early on in that game, but quickly find the equaliser with Alessandrini robbing it off the centre back. Then we get a corner here. Play it short, do a little bit of trickery, trying to keep the ball, trying to manoeuvre a bit of space, find a bit of space with Debussy, who slaps that one into the bottom left-hand corner, and that was about as good as it got for Debussy in this. Coming up into the next game, it's playing a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow with, is that, we got Jesus and Firmino up front, and pretty solid overall team, nice little Brazilian sort of team, similar things to what I've got, but I've got French. The sort of weaknesses I found with this team where the defence was such a huge problem. Like, I haven't put the goals I conceded, but there was a few games where I conceded like 6. Like, I think I lost one game 6-3, and it was like that's an abnormal amount of goals for me to concede as we hit an absolute banger with Sanson. Look at that, check that out, absolute banger. Didn't think he had it in his locker, but I thought let's have a go. Let's just see if he has the minerals to bang this one in. He absolutely did. Unbelievable strike. I thought the only player in my midfield who'd be capable of that was Laurent Blanc, but Sanson, yeah, banging long shot there as he starts doing a bit of good work here, giving it to Dembele. Another player, Dembele, who was what's the word I'm looking for? Different gravy for me. He was so good. His passing stat is an absolute lie. It's definitely not. Was it 68 or 69? 68 or 69, whatever it is, it's definitely not that. As you see there, plays a beautiful ball through to Anthony Martial, who finesses that straight into the top right hand bins. Lovely, and puts us 3-2 up. Everett playing a lovely ball down the line to Dembele again. Gets down the line, what does he do here? Cuts it across and gives it to Alessandrini, who slaps it straight high up into that top corner. And this, I think, was this the game? No, we win a penalty here, yeah. Win a penalty here, and I'm on quite a good run with penalties, to be fair to me. I think I've scored some crazy amount in a row. The most success I've had in at any point in FIFA. From it being my biggest weakness, I'm now confident I'm going to score them over time, which is a bonus. I can get a lot better at reading what the guy's going to do. Anyway, just before the end of the game, I was like, can we squeeze one more goal in? Can we squeeze one more goal in the 90th minute? We managed to do that with, is that Laurent Blanc who slaps that one in from a corner? Guy was done. I just wanted to squeeze another goal in to add us to the highlight reel. Coming to the next game, we find ourselves 1-0 down. This was a tough game, it was a very tough game. Against a solid side. Fakir there, as I'll say in the post-com, showing how he can break lines and feeding the balls into the front 3, and he does that really well, giving it to Alessandro, who then gives it across to Dembele, and that's how it finished 1-1 in that game. Next team we come up against is a sort of weird team. It's got a random Iniesta in there. I guess the guy must have been suspended, but apart from that, it's a really solid OP team. I imagine he had a 9-goal or something like that in there. But he's probably suspended, so he just chucked lone Iniesta in there. But really solid PSG sort of front four there. And it was a tough game again. Dembele playing down to Alessandrini there. It was a weak finish. Probably should have held on to it, didn't, but Dembele was there to do what all good strikers you want doing on this game, picking up the rebounds. And here's Dembele just dragging players to him and then allowing that Alessandrini to have that space on that right hand side just to pop it over to him and make it nice and make it a nice easy finish for him. Sanson doing some excellent work here, giving it out to Alessandrini again, who was a constant. Him and Dembele were the two main men, as it's a constant theme you'll see throughout all the goals of them linking up and doing all their work. Anyway, into the live section.
Hey guys, and we are back. And sort of my overall assessment of this team, I probably already said it in the sort of live section. I probably already said it, but for me the biggest weakness with this team was the defence. Apart from Umtiti, the other four, I include the goalkeeper in this, were not up to standard at all. Fullback, Patrice Evra was, as I thought he probably would be, he's a waste of time. He's just too slow, and the same with Debussy. Debussy, yeah, he's decent going forward, but he's generally a waste of time. There's a reason he's that price. You just have to have someone a far better rounder, but you have to have at least 80-yard pace as a fullback, and it really showed. Umtiti, good, solid defender. Basin was good on the ball, but he was just generally average. He made quite a few mistakes, as did both the fullbacks. The goalkeeper, he didn't really save a lot. He conceded quite a lot of goals. He had the odds, a few good saves, but he generally, you might as well just get Mandanda or someone like that. It's not worth paying the extra, like 10k on top of him. But now into the sort of like the positive sort of zone, which I've most probably already I'm repeating myself again, but it doesn't matter. It's what it is, because that's how I feel about this team. Like, the positives are the midfield was great. It had a really nice balance in there, with sort of Laurent Blanc sort of doing a lot of the sort of dog work, winning the ball back, and Sanson, both of them two sort of winning the ball back really well. And Fekir had a really good ability for me of sort of like transitioning and almost playing as sort of like a sort of like right-sided cam almost, with the sort of high, medium, low work rate. What he had high low, it almost that's what I felt. I felt like he had high low work rates, because he was sort of breaking the lines, and he was sort of that link between the sort of two more defensive type of midfielders in Blanc and Sanson. He was the one sort of breaking the lines. He was sort of more of a ball carrier with the fantastic dribbling he's got. He was sort of carrying the ball into those dangerous areas to give it to these front three. And now this front three was excellent. You already know that Alessandrini and Martial are absolute beasts. They are absolutely good. But Dembele was so good. Was better than I was expecting to be. I thought that 68 passing was going to be a huge problem. It wasn't. His finishing, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Can't ask for any more. For the price you are paying, for the 14k you are paying, he's super easy to link as well, because he's French. There's so many good links in there with the French players, with the French guys. I don't know why he's so cheap. He is so good, and his record shows that. I play 4 games. I'm going to play a 5th with this, but I already have a good idea of what I want to say. But I will play a 5th before I do this sort of commentary over it. But he scored 4 goals, 3 assists in those games, and these were all in division. They were all in Division 2. They were all in Division 2 of divisions, obviously. If you 4-star week for that, will make him a little bit better. But he's 6 foot, and the work rates are perfect on him, because he hasn't got amazing stamina, and the low defensive work rate is brilliant. And he's got so many good things. He's got stats in where it matters, and I think the reason why his passing was so not like wasn't a huge issue with him was because the rest of his stats, I'll show you here. Like his passing stat is 68, which is not great. But his short passing, which for me is the most important passing stat for my play style, was 82, which is good. His vision, 73. Crossing, it's like, you're not going to cross for this guy. He's a striker. Free kick accuracy, you're not going to take free kicks. You're not going to do long passing. The curve was an issue, but as long as you go for the driven shots or the low driven shots with this guy, you will not have a problem at all. Composure was good. Didn't really test him in the air. I'm not the sort of guy who crosses it, but he did win a few headers from goal kicks, which is all you can ask for. And finishing wise, like you're not going to be taking long shots. His volleys are irrelevant. He's got stats where it matters, and that's how I'd sum it up. He was absolutely the positive of this team, and a player I would just encourage you to try. You won't lose barely any coins on him if you try him. It's going to cost you nothing to try him. Put him on your bench, use him as a super sub. He is absolutely worth it, and that's my overall opinion. Defense, terrible. Midfield and attack, great. So many. If you could just change the defense and put this team together, you would have a great time if you could fix the defense. And it's not exactly hard to fix. If without going down the French league, if you just go with like a Dani Alves at right back, and then left back you just go with, who have I got? French. You could even just go with Kazawa, who I was going to use, but I thought I want to use Patrice Evra because he's a player I love so much. And goalkeeper, I just go get Mandanda or Hugo Lloris, and that would fix that. And then a Lauren Koscielny in this right centre back slot would fix that. And I think if you put that team together, then you are talking about a seriously good team. Anyway, I've rambled on far too long anyway. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you do, hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. I'm out.